strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
To understand how our WJF frames health equity, we have to notice that we're trying to build a culture of health across the country that's founded on health equity approaches and health equity principles. So for us, health equity means that everyone in our society has a fair and just opportunity for health and well-being. And since we know that that's not the case, we have to look at our systems that we call the social determinants of health, systems that would help us be healthy if they worked well for everyone, and they don't. Many times those systems are infected, so to speak, with discrimination, structural barriers that will keep people out of, that keep people from being able to live their best lives. So you have to look at racial discrimination, you have to look at gender discrimination, you have to look at discrimination against people with disabilities. Health equity benefits everyone in that everyone gets what they need to be healthy, but you have to look at their unique circumstances and understand what structural barriers are preventing them from taking advantage and using the systems that have been designed to help them. If you think about it, all of us who have been working in these fields of public health, medicine, healthcare, our real goals are to eliminate some health disparities. And the approaches that we've been taking to eliminate health disparities has done some good in many cases. We know smoking rates are lower than that they have been in times past, and we know that there's a direct connection between tobacco use and cancers. But for the most part, our work to eliminate health disparities has not shrunk in goals. As a matter of fact, some things have changed and gotten worse. We know that African Americans suffer more from various forms of cancers than others in our society. We know that's the same for American Indians. We know that's the same for American Indian women and African American women, just to use those as examples. And if our old approaches haven't worked well to shrink those disparities gaps, and we also see that those disparities gaps are being exacerbated, and we know the millions, if not billions of dollars that we as a society put into shrinking those health disparity gaps, then maybe we need to take a different approach. Maybe we need to start thinking about how do we engage with those who are suffering? How do we engage with those who are in pain that can tell us the best ways to help them live and have a fair and just opportunity for health and well-being? Health equity needs leadership in this country. We both have strong leaders at the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the American Cancer Society who can call out the unfairness and the injustice that leads to some of the problems that we're facing. Doing so in a way that is not all about fire and brimstone, but it's about using our brands, using our data, using all the tools that we have available to represent those who we are trying to help, but represent them in an authentic way. And so I think our leaders, between the American Cancer Society and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, can call attention to all of the other leaders and communities that are out there who are working on these issues, can hold them up as examples and open doors for them to also go in and do that equity work. So partners like the American Cancer Society are very important to Robert Wood Johnson Foundation because we all working together using health equity tools, health equity approaches, have the opportunity to create a more perfect union in which everyone who lives in our society has a fair and just opportunity for health and well-being.
Hi everyone, I'm Rafiq and I am a real man. And my message today is to one, say thank you and congratulations to those of you that have survived. You have fought the fight that many of us have no idea what it's like to go through. And for those of you going through the fight, please keep continuing to go. You are important, you are completely worth it, and we are waiting for you on the other side and looking forward to celebrating with you when you do recover. Thank you very much and bless you all.
Hey, I'm Clint, and I'm honored to be chosen as a real man this year. And I just wanted to say that I once heard a woman say that you know, I don't have cancer. Cancer has me, and I don't know why that hit me so hard, but she's right. And it allowed her to actually take on a battle with it and fight it when she recognized that cancer was actually attacking her. It's not something she possessed. So she was able to fight, and her spirit just lifted me up. It was around that time that my mom had a brain tumor and was fighting herself, her own battle. And I'm thankful to say she came through it on the other end, and it was, our hearts just lifted for her, you know, and so I can't really say that I know what it's like, but I know from an outsider view what it feels like. And I also know what it feels like to see somebody come through it. So I want you to know that we're pulling for you, we love you, we support you, and God bless you.
Hi, my name is Lane Prince. I'm a real man wear pink, and I wear pink proudly. This will be my 4th year participating in this cause awareness group. I got into this because of my wife that was diagnosed 3 years ago, and then just continue to want to do what I can to bring more awareness to this Real Men Wear Pink campaign.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm a real man, and I have a message for you survivors. I want to thank you for being the fighters that you are and being as strong as you are, because you're paving the way for those that are going through it next. And I want a message for those that are going through it now. Keep going forward, keep being positive, because your day's coming. You guys are strong, you guys are fighters, and I'm a real man, and I want to support you.
Hey, this is James Allen. I just want to say congratulations to everybody that's been able to make it through this. I know it's extremely challenging for people, which is why I wanted to be a part of it and do the best I can to make an impact. You got this.
Don't ever give up. You can be okay. You just have to hang in there and never give up and keep moving forward. That's all I got to say. Good luck.
Hi, my name is Michael Bardales. I'm a team leader for East Bay Group with Compass, and I'm actually a real man that wears pink as well. Today, I want to thank you cancer survivors out there for what you're doing. You inspire us on the daily, and we know it's difficult waking up every day, not understanding what's happening, but just know there's people out here supporting you. We are champions just like yourself, and just know your prayers and thoughts are with you guys, and keep pushing.
My name's Dana, and I'm a real man. I wear pink. I'm so honored to be part of this campaign to bring awareness to the fight against cancer and to cancer survivors. You've got this. Keep that fight going, and we'll see you on the other side.
Humbled and proud to be part of this program, and wish you all great strength and luck in your recovery.
What's up, everybody? I'm Brad Wilkinson. Extremely honored to be sending a message today and to be partnering with Real Men Wear Pink. I want to send a message to all of those cancer survivors out there to let you guys know how extremely honored and humbled I am to be able to be a part of bringing awareness to this event. Both my grandmothers actually passed away from lung cancer, and so this is something that's very kind of near and dear to me. I also want to say a huge congratulations and just give my support also to the families that are going along with some of these journeys, because I've seen it firsthand. I know how difficult that can be. You guys are the real MVPs behind the fight with all of this. So to all you survivors out there, keep fighting the good fight. We got your back. We love you. And to all the family members as well, thank you for doing what you do. Extremely humbled and honored to be a part of this, and I wish everybody the best.
How's it going? My name is Scott. And I'm Matthew. We are Baseline. We are happy to partner with Real Men Wear Pink, and we'd like to congratulate everyone that has fought an amazing fight to get through cancer.
Yeah, we're just happy to be part of the cause. Continue to fight the good fight. We're here for you in any way that we can, and we'll see you soon.
You got this.
Hi, my name is Tuan. and I'm a real man. I'm really honored to be part of this to help raise awareness. And a little bit about me, I've been a caregiver for quite some time to help my wife, who passed away almost 2 years ago from cancer. And so to me, this is near and dear to my heart, so I'm very, very happy to be part of it.
I'm Jeff Kloss of the American Cancer Society's West Region. I'm so grateful that you joined us this evening. We're all here because we care about the fight against cancer. While this fight is always critical, it's even more urgent now. The pandemic is threatening our life-saving work, and cancer patients are more vulnerable than ever. Sadly, almost 80% of cancer patients in active treatment report delays in their care due to COVID-19. Like many of you and your loved ones, I myself have heard the devastating words, "You have cancer," nearly 20 years ago. I know the courage and determination it takes to battle the disease. Having cancer is hard, but having cancer during a pandemic could seem insurmountable. Tonight, we will hear stories of inspiration and hope. We'll also have the opportunity to celebrate loved ones who have triumphed over cancer and to honor those who have lost their battles. As you enjoy this evening, I ask you to consider the urgent need before us. The pandemic and the resulting economy have the potential to reduce our ability to fund cancer research by 50%. At risk are better treatments and discoveries that could save lives. We cannot let cancer have the advantage. We cannot allow fewer resources to stop the progress we've been making. Any delay in discovering the next cancer breakthrough means lives lost. Your support is critical to ensuring cancer research is funded at the highest levels. Your gift, no matter how large or small, helps ensure the American Cancer Society is there for patients 24 hours a day, every day of the year, with information and support when it's needed most. Thank you for standing with the American Cancer Society to ensure the fight continues during this difficult time. Thank you for your volunteerism and your financial support. We couldn't do this life-saving work without you.
These days, it's easy to feel helpless. Like the world moves without regard for love. Like together is a past tense, and our future is uncertain. It's easy to feel like our problems are too big to solve.
I asked myself, why me? But then I realized that cancer doesn't discriminate. Cancer can happen to anybody.
But every big problem is just a series of small ones. The vague but striking fear of a diagnosis, lessened with every late-night question answered. The complex web of individual diseases, untangled with every rogue cell understood. The reality that treatment is out of reach, eliminated with every right to treatment coordinated, and every place to stay secured. The overwhelming burden of the work left to do lowered with every fundraising goal met and every life-saving bill passed. We can't end cancer alone. But when each one of our 1.5 million volunteers, staff, and researchers solves a small problem, hope gets bigger.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2020 American Cancer Society East Bay Gala at Home, presented by Chevron. My name is Paul Hagan. I am the Chief Meteorologist for KPIX TV. I get a break tonight from updating you about the heat and fires and smoke and more heat. Instead of that, I get to be the bearer of good news. I get to be your MC to support the fight against cancer. I'm live in my office this evening, so I apologize in advance for any internet glitches, barking dogs, or any of the other things that tend to happen on Zoom calls. I think at this point, we all have experience taking things in stride. This event has raised $2 million in the past decade, and for the first time in its history, the gala is virtual by necessity and is accessible to everyone to view on YouTube. So share this link, eastbaygala.org, and invite all of your friends and family to watch. We've got a lot planned for the evening, so let's get right onto it. For those who are already here with us in the live stream, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate lives and save more lives. We'd like to take a moment to give a special thank you to everyone who is supporting this event in the virtual space this year. I know we all wish we could gather and actually be together, but thank you for practicing safe social distancing. Wherever you are, we encourage you to take and share photos of your evening and tag us using the hashtag East Bay Gala and hashtag EBGalaSelfie as shown in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Before we get into the bulk of the program, I do want to thank the generous sponsors who have made this evening possible. The East Bay Gala is presented by Chevron, who has been a strong supporter of the American Cancer Society in many ways. They too have chosen to attack cancer from every angle by encouraging employees to get involved through Relay for Life, sponsoring Research Hers, that's an initiative sponsoring women in science. Chevron has also contributed to corporate efforts to support cancer conversations in the workplace and supported engaging in conversations around health equity, like they are doing with their support for this gala. Additionally, we greatly appreciate the support of our Trailblazer sponsor, Epic Care, champion sponsor, Diablo Valley Oncology, another champion sponsor, the San Francisco 49ers, hospitality sponsor, the Wine Group, and table sponsors, the Oakland A's, Stanford Cancer Institute, Aspen Skilled Healthcare, and Dr. Cynthia LeBlanc. The production of this virtual gala is being supported by Baycat Studio Academy Internship Program. Baycat exists to end racial, gender, and economic inequity by creating powerful, authentic media while diversifying the creative industry. They're changing the narratives and the stories that get shared with the world through the education and employment of low-income youth, young people of color, and young women in the Bay Area, and producing media for socially minded clients. Last but not least, thank you for media and promotional support by Diablo Magazine and to my bosses at KPIX TV. We want to make sure that you're all aware of the online silent auctions tonight. We advise you to use a two-screen or two-device approach, whatever works for you to get the most out of the evening. As you tune into our virtual gala on YouTube via your desktop or laptop or projecting onto a big screen TV, that would make my head really big on a big screen TV, please be sure to pull up our auction page on your phone or another screen. On your screen is going to appear a QR code that you can scan with your smartphone camera and it'll take you right to the site. Or you can just go to eastbaygala.org and click on the register/bid and auction to get started. Register if you haven't already and you'll be able to bid and donate during the show. Donate any amount tonight to receive a shout out from me later on in the program. Our auction could not have been possible without the tremendous support of all auction item donors. If you are watching tonight, we thank you very much. So let's do a quick pulse check. How has your 2020 been? Kind of a loaded question, right? You can chime in via the YouTube chat while we watch this video.
This morning, the U.S. is a nation in crisis. Amid a global pandemic and record unemployment, now comes unrest unlike anything we've seen in a generation.
It's through these tough times that we recognize the everyday heroes around us and even find that power within ourselves to rise up against steep odds. 2020 has been devastating and obviously challenging, but the American Cancer Society knows what an enduring fight looks like. While they've been making progress for over a century, there is so much more work to be done, and they need you more than ever to continue the journey to health equity for all. It's inspiring to think of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, actor Chadwick Boseman. Both had their own difficult battles with cancer, yet chose to use their precious time on earth to continue fighting for social change until the very end. It's up to us now to continue their legacy. In the next hour, you're going to hear from many voices of the East Bay and those partnering with the American Cancer Society to advance health equity. You'll hear some incredibly empowering and moving personal stories. And that's why it's so important for me and everyone here to help us reach our $150,000 goal tonight. Watch the goal thermometer throughout the night and see our progress. And you can see that we're already almost halfway there, $74,300, which is incredible by itself, and we're just getting started. We're all here united as a community in the same mission to eliminate cancer and celebrate health equity heroes. Every one of us can be a hero tonight. Let's work together to make a difference, raising much needed funds to support cancer patients. If you haven't already, scan the QR code to register to bid or type in eastbaygala.org in another browser and navigate from there. I'm not going to go anywhere, so you can do it now and you'll still hear my voice. While you're on the site, make a donation and you'll get a personal shout out from me later on in the show. And remember, you can join the fun by sharing a selfie with us, tagging hashtag EBGalaSelfie or hashtag EastBayGala to get your pictures featured in the show. I actually did that before we started the live stream here. In 2018, the American Cancer Society was selected as a grantee by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, the nation's largest philanthropic organization focused on health. Their goal is to help raise the health of everyone in the United States to the level that a great nation deserves by placing well-being at the center of every aspect of life. This multi-year grant will allow ACS to advance health equity by addressing barriers to cancer prevention, detection, treatment, and survivorship. Specifically, they're working to build a shared vision for health equity, strengthen ACS's organizational capacity, and foster cross-sector collaboration. The video you are about to see is exactly the type of work that the RWJF grant is supporting through the American Cancer Society. So let's take a look.
No matter the color of your skin, where you live, who you love, or who loves you, anyone can get cancer. But it doesn't affect everyone the same way. It's unfair and unequal. Where you live shouldn't determine if you live, but all too often it does. Meet Jenny and Marianne, best friends since elementary school. They rode the same bus and loved the same dance moves. Years later, both were diagnosed with breast cancer. They were devastated by the news. But research suggests Jenny has a better chance of surviving. Black women are 40% more likely to die of breast cancer than white women. Where people live, work, grow, and learn can greatly impact their cancer experience too. Jenny lives in an area with access to quality health care, affordable healthy foods, and reliable transportation. For Marianne, it's a different story. Due to generations of unjust discrimination, her community has limited or no access to those options. Marianne, like so many others, won't have a fair and just opportunity to prevent, find, treat, or survive cancer. The statistics tell a harrowing story. African Americans have the highest death rate and shortest survival of any racial group in the U.S. for most cancers. The cancer-preventing HPV vaccination rates among youth are lower in rural areas than urban areas. And research shows the LGBTQ community is likely to face greater barriers to care such as homophobia or transphobia, which can prevent early detection of diseases such as lung cancer. The list of disparities goes on and on. At the end of the day, access to quality care shouldn't be a privilege. It's a right. For Marianne, for Jenny, for all people. That's why the American Cancer Society is committed to advancing health equity. That includes access to cancer prevention, detection, treatment, and survivorship by addressing the social determinants of health. A mix of social, economic, cultural, environmental, and health systems factors historically linked to discrimination or exclusion. We're working tirelessly to provide the tools and resources based on need that allows everyone a fair chance to reach their full health potential. That means we're stepping up our commitment to health equity in our research priorities, programs, services, and advocacy. Health equity is what ACS and ACS Can believe in. Join us in advancing health equity and reducing cancer disparities.
Where people live, work, grow, and learn can greatly affect their cancer experience, and COVID-19 has brought to light the daily injustice in our most vulnerable communities. The pandemic has changed so much of what we do. This evening is proof of that, but it has not and will not change what the American Cancer Society does. Throughout all of this, ACS has never stopped. They continue taking calls from cancer patients and caregivers 24/7. In fact, in March, 80% of calls coming into the 24-hour hotline were COVID-19 related. People everywhere know that the American Cancer Society is a trusted source for accurate cancer information. When Chadwick Boseman died, views of colon cancer pages on cancer.org increased by 8,000%. When Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, views of ACS's pancreatic cancer pages jumped by 33%. We're not talking about a few more people logging on. There were 52,000 page views in the days after the death of Justice Ginsburg. Those numbers show the degree to which ACS is helping people in this community with vital information. Moreover, the American Cancer Society keeps funding research, including $50 million in active grants focused on disparities research as of March of this year. They continue to advocate for better healthcare and increased funding to address those disparities. Cancer hasn't stopped during COVID, but neither has the American Cancer Society. This program is a celebration of partnerships, perseverance, and resilience. And what's a celebration without some tunes? Let's kick off this show with this song by The Session called Still Dreaming.
Hear it all, feel it all, know it's all inside of you. Break a wall to find a soul, can't run away from you. Where do you wanna go? Can you help yourself? Take yourself there, you can feel clear now. Where do you wanna go? Can you take yourself there? If you don't know, I'll go along. Can't wake up, you can never wake up. Can't wake up, you're still dreaming, still dreaming. Can't wake up, you can never wake up. Can't wake up, you're still dreaming, still dreaming. See it all, want it all, know it's all inside
Big thanks again to the session for that performance and for being part of our virtual gala this evening. You saw their social media links on the slide before the video, and yes, they are on Spotify and in the iTunes store. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and one of the many ways that the American Cancer Society supports the community is through campaigns like Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. Some of you may be familiar with the community events. You may have even attended them in the past. For those of you that may have not had the pleasure of being moved by the power of pink, we are delighted to give you a glimpse into how meaningful this experience can be.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer late last year, and I found the lump myself. I'm familiar with my breasts. No one knows your body like you know your body. So when I felt a lump, I went in and I got it checked out. I was diagnosed, and less than a month later, I was having a lumpectomy. Here we are now, a year later. I'll be celebrating 1 year being cancer-free. When I got diagnosed, one of the first things that I wanted to look for was information about how has this disease had an effect on African American women. To be able to go on the American Cancer Society website and find recent studies, it's eye-opening and amazing, because oftentimes I feel that African American women are invisible. They're talking about the African American community and how this disease is affecting the community. And so to see Making Strides is looking at me and seeing me too as the face of breast cancer is really important. My first experience at Making Strides was pretty amazing. There was so much positive energy in the air. Being a breast cancer survivor, it was beautiful to meet so many strangers who just give you a high five, give you a hug. I can't say enough about how good it felt to be amongst the people there. Making Strides had so many inspirational signs along the path, and we'd slap the sign, give it a high five for energy. We walked, we danced, we sang. And I learned that because of my fundraising and the fundraising of many others, we're able to help. And that's beautiful. We need to educate all women on breast cancer, on triple negative. There's so many resources out there. This has affected many people, many women. Although we've come a long ways, there's still so much more research and information, and helping to raise funds with Making Strides actually can move this cause along. Breast cancer is many things, but it's not the winner. Know your breasts and advocate for yourself, but then get busy, because there's a lot of hope out there.
I don't think you can help but be inspired by her story, and just think of how many other similar stories are just waiting to be told. The American Cancer Society's initiatives are made possible through the efforts of individual fundraisers and programs like Making Strides, and also through corporate partnerships. Chevron's multifaceted partnership with ACS is the result of the tremendous support by Steve Woodhead. So right now, let me hand over the virtual mic to Steve to share a few words.
Hello, and thank you for joining us tonight at the American Cancer Society's virtual East Bay Gala. My name is Steve Woodhead, and I'm proud to represent our presenting sponsor, Chevron. Chevron and its employees have supported the American Cancer Society for over 50 years, contributing millions of dollars and countless volunteer hours in support of its critical mission. Most recently, Chevron was proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Society's Research HERS campaign, which focuses on raising funds for women conducting critical cancer research. I share in this commitment, and I am proud to be a member of the American Cancer Society's Coastal Area Board of Directors and an ambassador for this event. Chevron supports this cause because cancer knows no boundaries. It impacts our employees and the communities where we live and work. Chances are that every one of us will be impacted by this disease, either directly or indirectly. My personal passion stems from the impact cancer has had on my family and friends, including claiming the lives of my mother, mother-in-law, sister, and a brother. But I also have a sister who's a 2-time survivor. So I understand the positive impact the society's work has on the fight against this hideous disease. Survivors don't get there on their own, though. It takes a network of support, from the groundbreaking research and treatments to something as simple as a ride to therapy. This is one of the reasons why Chevron is pleased that tonight's focus is on health equity. So many in our community lack the access to proper medical care and services, and this has only been magnified by the pandemic. So what can you do? It's simple. Think about how cancer has impacted your life and the life of loved ones around you. Think about the what ifs. Think about if research had been more advanced or if more services were available, would the outcomes have been different? You can help make these things happen by giving generously over the course of this event. Raise your virtual paddle, bid for the wonderful auction items, and rest in the knowledge that your contribution will help make a difference. In good times and bad, cancer doesn't stop, and neither do we. Let's take advantage of this virtual platform. Text a link to your friends right now and get them involved. Go on, no one will notice, and it can make a difference. Let's beat this disease in our lifetime. Thank you.
We have a lot of celebrating still to come, so everybody stick around. But this program is also a fundraiser. If you have already participated in the auction that started last week and made a donation before tonight, thank you. It's not too late though if you haven't. You can scan the QR code on the screen with your camera to get started, the phone camera. Or if QR codes intimidate you and you have no idea what I'm talking about, just open up another window in your browser, another screen on another device, go to eastbaygala.org and click on auction to place your bid and donate. While you do that, here is our auction chair, Camelin Jones, with a special message about the online silent auction.
Thank you, Paul. Good evening, everyone. My name is Cam Jones, and I'm one of the marketing directors for Aspen Skilled Healthcare. I'm on the board of ambassadors and auction chair for this year. I was 15 years old when I helped my first cancer patient. I've been a dedicated healthcare professional for the last 15 years serving the East Bay community, and I would love nothing more than to help find the cures for the cancers that have affected our friends and loved ones. Over the last 10 years, the East Bay Jewel Ball has raised over $2 million in the fight against cancer. The East Bay Gala needs your support this year more than ever. And on to our silent auction. Living in the Bay Area, we have some amazing destinations. So we have experience. R&R at the Claremont, or you're looking for an enjoyable experience with your closest friends, we have some great packages for you to bid on. And the best news ever is that the majority of our gift cards and gift certificates have no expiration dates, so you can enjoy them on your time. The work of the American Cancer Society is so important, and so many people depend on it. So audience, it is up to you now. So go to eastbaygala.org, click on register, and bid to participate in our silent auction. You have until Sunday, October 18th to get in your final bid and win some great prizes. So we wish you the best of luck, and we thank you so much for your support.
Next, we have a special message about how the work of ACS has continued in the face of COVID-19. This is from actress and cancer survivor Shannon Doherty, who announced that her cancer had returned earlier this year. She's currently actively battling this disease, and we're so grateful she took the time to continue to advocate for the American Cancer Society. Remember, use your phone or open another browser window when you make that donation or when you're bidding so that you don't miss anything. Here's Shannon.
It's the deadliest pandemic in over a century. And with daily case records surging across the country, the virus's threat remains very real. It's especially to those fighting another grueling battle, cancer.
When you get a cancer diagnosis during a COVID pandemic, you do everything you can to just stay alive.
In the United States, 17 million people are living with cancer, and another 1.8 million will be diagnosed this year. These two merciless diseases are testing their resolve like few challenges in history.
I am constantly on guard and do everything that I can to keep myself healthy and minimize my risk.
From procedures being postponed to clinical trials being canceled, patients and survivors have had their health care greatly impacted by the pandemic.
When I was told having cancer wasn't considered an emergency and I wouldn't be allowed to get my routine tests, it was just disappointing because I'm not able to see exactly what's going on inside my body and how my medications are or are not affecting me.
You start to go crazy in your head because all you are surrounded by at this point is either COVID fear or cancer fear.
For over 100 years, the American Cancer Society has fueled the fight against cancer with funding, care, and hope.
It's so imperative that our patients are getting to contact a live person while they're going through their cancer journey.
ACS needs your help. Cancer doesn't stop, so not.
Thank you, Shannon. Everyone at the American Cancer Society is behind you, and we obviously all send our best wishes as she continues her battle. Cancer, as I said earlier, doesn't stop during a pandemic, and neither will the American Cancer Society. So your support is vital to helping cancer patients. COVID-19 is undermining a life-saving fight. The pandemic is disrupting not just our everyday lives, but disrupting support systems that cancer patients and their caregivers need, like rides to treatment, lodging, access to care. And it has caused a huge decrease in our research funding. That's why your support is so crucial. Every donation can help cancer patients right now. Every dollar counts, and so we appreciate every bit of your support. Now, this year's Cancer Challenge is going to look a little different than in previous years, as does the rest of our lives, where we could all physically raise up our paddles high. This year, as we walk you through different levels of support and the impact that we can make with your dollars, you can find each level on our online auction page. You can, again, scan that QR code, or if you haven't already, visit our auction site. Once you're there, tap the big blue bar button that says Raise Your Paddle, Donate Now. You can also get there by navigating from eastbaygala.org in a new window. And when you're there, click the Join the Auction button to get to the auction site. We're opening up the bidding at the $10,000 level tonight. At this $10,000 level, your donation pays for 400 calls to our 24/7 cancer helpline. The American Cancer Society has remained open 24/7, providing a lifeline to residents in this community and communities across the country via phone, live chat, and video, answering questions about cancer and especially questions about cancer and COVID-19. That helpline is, and I'm going to give you the number right now, 800-227-2345. So take that number and put it into your phone under ACS. Think of how many people, if you have that handy, that you can help if you mention that number. Share it with each person you know who shares a new cancer diagnosis or relapse, or just the struggle of one of their friends or family members. The American Cancer Society is committed to being there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We want to give a huge shout out, many rounds of applause, to our very own Joe Naylor, who is a board member in the American Cancer Society, Northern California coastal area, for kicking us off this evening by donating $10,000 to ACS's important work. Thank you to everyone who has made donations so far and got us to the dollar level that you are seeing on your screen. Remember, raise your paddle virtually and donate now on our auction site. At the $5,000 level, it's the Hope Lodge contribution level. It covers operating costs for 100 nights of free lodging for frontline responders. In the early days of COVID-19, doesn't that seem like a million years ago? The American Cancer Society made the difficult decision to close its doors to cancer patients to ensure the safety of our guests and patients, volunteers, staff, but we're able to repurpose that space. In a very short time, we redirected needs to first responders to house hospital staff so that they wouldn't put their families at risk of virus exposure. We're going to move on to the $2,500 level. We already have some generous donors at this level, so we'd like to call out your name as well. Tonight, your gift of $2,500 provides about 40 peer support sessions for breast cancer patients. The Reach to Recovery program continues to be strong through its virtual and online components. ACS has reactivated nearly a third of the former Reach to Recovery volunteers since the start of the pandemic, enlisting them to connect with new breast cancer survivors via a new app and online. The American Cancer Society is relentlessly fighting cancer and bridging connections despite the pandemic. We are actually updating on the fly right now the names that we have in the $2,500 level. So I'm waiting for my teleprompter, which is just a Google Doc, to update. So this is your proof that this is live as we are coming to you this evening. Dr. Cynthia LeBlanc, many thanks for your $2,500 donation. We appreciate it. Let's keep the generous donating fingers tapping once again. And again, if you haven't already, you can visit our auction site using the QR code in the corner of your screen, or just going to eastbaygala.org in a new window and join the auction so you can raise your paddle and donate right now. You can check out the silent auction items that are up there too, which we're going to give you more information about when those close a little later on. Since the 1950s, more than 2.5 million dedicated study participants have joined the cancer prevention studies. Their commitment to these vital research efforts has helped us better understand what causes cancer so that we can ultimately prevent it. Through consistent surveys of study participants, this work will help researchers better understand the lifestyle, environmental, genetic factors that cause or prevent cancer, including how disparities impact outcomes and diagnoses. Your $1,000 commitment will allow us to continue this important intramural research. And at the $1,000 level, we would like to give very large thanks, huge thanks to Steve Woodhead for giving $1,000 and also getting a corporate match of another $1,000. Remember, the money that you give tonight is helping to get us closer to a world where everyone has a fair and just opportunity to prevent, find, treat, and survive cancer. We'll do this again in just a little bit. There are more levels to go. So stay tuned, make a donation, and let's save some lives. And if you're donating at one of the higher levels and you think we've just scooted past you, we'll update those names on the list, don't worry. After you make your donation, take a selfie and share it with us using the hashtag EastBayGala or the hashtag EBGalaSelfie. Make sure to tag us on Instagram. It's at ACS_California and at ACS_EastBayGala, and then challenge your friends to do the same. 2020 is revealing more than ever how historically marginalized populations are bearing a disproportionate burden of preventable cancer death and disease. COVID-19 is bringing to light a stark reality that many were already facing even before the pandemic. You may not know that 80% of what influences our health is not actually medically related at all. Health is driven by more than inherited characteristics in medical care. It's driven by complex and interrelated social, economic, cultural, environmental, and health system factors that are historically linked to systemic discrimination or exclusion. Social determinants of health influence a person's ability to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer. They also often dictate a person's opportunity and ability to make health choices and can greatly impact their cancer experience. That's why the American Cancer Society is adopting evidence-based health equity principles in everything they do, from research, events, programs, services, and policies, aiming to reduce suffering and deaths from cancer and reach their goal of reducing mortality rates 40% by 2035. Now, up next, you're going to hear a little more about how ACS is working in these communities to get us closer to closing those gaps.
ACS strongly supports research that helps us better understand what inequalities exist in cancer, and also to help come up with strategies and programs for overcoming these inequalities.
I had one patient, due to displacement, she didn't have any lodging. She had nowhere, and she was getting ready to go into treatment. That wore on that woman so heavily, it was just unreal. And in working with ACS, they went out of their way to really help secure the lodging that my patient needed. in order for her to have the surgery, be discharged, and have somewhere to go. That just impacted me so much because it made me realize, in a spiritual sense, that being able to assist someone, you may really be restoring more than what you're aware of, because that was a restoration of her faith.
Someone who I know personally, whose husband had never had a colonoscopy and began having some symptoms which obviously we could all write off with 100 different excuses. Oh, it's something I ate, oh, I'm tired, oh, that type of thing. And she happened to be a health equity ambassador and had the training and learned about some of the signs and symptoms. And, as we all know, we have to sort of drag men to the doctor, kicking and screaming. But she did that, and he, in fact, did get a colonoscopy and was found to have early stage colon cancer, which was so treatable if you just go get it checked. So it really brought everything home in terms of what the HEA program can really do for people.
I've had the privilege of working with the American Cancer Society for about 20 years. And I think the consistency of the message is one thing that I think is really important. And so that's all I want to do is let's shift how we talk about it. Let's dispel the myths. December 2001, my sister was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. As soon as she got the diagnosis, she was ready to die. She said, nothing I can do, I'm gonna die. So I said to her, we can get a second opinion. She didn't want to get a second opinion. Finally, in February, we got her to go for a second opinion. When they did the exploratory, there was nothing they could do, so they closed her up. She died 6 months later. And so that lived out the myth for my family. I'm not telling you about something I heard from somebody else. This is my lived experience. But I believe that if we actually help people understand, they will make different decisions. Conversely, I have a younger sister diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer, but she did the reverse. She got the treatment. Now she's been 7 years cancer-free. And she listened and she got the treatment. She went back for the follow-ups and she did all the stuff that she needs to do. So she's 7 years cancer-free.
American Cancer Society continues to do its work to advocate for cancer patients during the pandemic. One of the things they're doing is also trying to get some relief for not only for themselves, but also for other nonprofits that are engaged in addressing health issues within the population. Supporting the society right now is really critical. I'm doing everything I can as a volunteer. Staff are working exceptionally hard to just kind of continue the body of work, which is being very challenged right now because of multiple issues around coronavirus.
If there is equity in cancer, that means too that everyone, even when diagnosed, they have the equal opportunity to get the health care that they need to improve their quality of life. No matter what their race, ethnicity, age, they will have equal access to quality services, quality medicine that will help them have a quality life.
Good evening. I am Paula Spiazzu, Vice President of Regional Cancer Control with your American Cancer Society. Health equity is a critical part of our mission at the American Cancer Society. While we celebrate the decline in cancer deaths that we've seen over the last 25 years, we must recognize that advancements in prevention, early detection, and treatment have not benefited everyone equally. We're working toward a future where everyone has the opportunity to be as healthy as possible, including preventing, detecting, treating, and surviving cancer. One key strategy in our pursuit of health equity is our partnerships with federally qualified health centers, also known as FQHCs. FQHCs are community clinics that provide primary care services in underserved areas. Our American Cancer Society cancer control staff work with FQHCs to develop and implement quality improvement projects to increase cancer screenings and HPV vaccination rates among underserved populations. Tonight, on behalf of the American Cancer Society, I am honored to recognize 2 of our FQHC partners for their outstanding work in the fight against cancer. We want to honor and recognize Bay Area Community Health for their partnership on a breast cancer screening grant and for sustaining efforts for years to come. Through this grant partnership with the NFL's Crucial Catch initiative, they were able to execute nearly 8,000 screening reminders through a combination of phone calls and postcards. Through these interventions, they completed more than 1,500 mammograms, resulting in over 150 abnormal results and 18 breast cancer diagnoses. Also, more than 200 transportation vouchers were given to patients to reduce transportation barriers. What an amazing job. Here to tell you more about their work is Bay Area Community Health.
Hi, I'm Dr. Harsha Ramchandani, Chief Medical Officer with Bay Area Community Health. I would like to thank American Cancer Society for this honor. On behalf of Bay Area Community Health, it's my pleasure to accept this award. At Bay Area Community Health, our mission is to provide quality of care and social services to all our patients, families, and the communities we serve. With Bay Area Community Health, we serve patients in Alameda as well as Santa Clara County, and this year we're expected to serve 100,000 patients. Breast cancer, as we all know, is the second most common cancer in women in America. So I would like to thank American Cancer Society for providing all the technical assistance, resources, education, and the funds to improve our breast cancer screening rates in the clinic. Last year, we partnered with American Cancer Society in providing the same-day appointments to the women, as well as giving the education and awareness, as well as resources to our patients and the providers. This year, we would like to continue our efforts. With this pandemic, I know there are a lot of challenges that we are facing right now, but we have created new workflows and protocols. Some of those include virtual visits, as well as we are partnering with our imaging centers to provide same-day appointments to our patients. As we know, prevention is better than cure. This is a very important step in preventing and identifying the cancers at an early stage. I would like to mention the importance of HPV vaccination to prevent cervical cancers at an early stage. At Bay Area Community Health, we offer the education and support to all our patients, as well as the parents coming into our clinic for the physical exams. We outreach to the patients in the forms of sending the postcards, mails, as well as text messages to inform them about the importance of these screening. We believe that healthcare is a right, not a privilege for our patients and our community. The healthcare should be available to all, irrespective of their race, ethnicity, as well as their socioeconomic status. We try to identify the barriers and the challenges and the social determinants of health that is preventing our patients to get this screening or any medical care. Some of those includes providing the transportation vouchers to our patients, giving the education resources, and sometimes walk-ins appointment where they're coming into the clinic for some other services. At the end, I would like to mention one of the Obama's quote: if you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, ultimately you will make progress. And with the partner like American Cancer Society, the journey and the path becomes easier. So thank you, American Cancer Society, for being our partner and helping us throughout this process.
We would like to honor and recognize Tiburcio Vasquez Health Center for their innovation and partnership implementing a colorectal cancer screening project. Throughout this project, the American Cancer Society facilitated quality improvement, including educating providers and clinic staff about the colorectal cancer screening process, enhancing connections amongst other health centers to improve patient care, and finally, improving access to care by more seamlessly offering mailing out colorectal cancer screening tests, or FIT kits as we all know them, to eligible patients who are now receiving care via telemedicine, so that patients can get screened with this contactless testing method. While COVID-19 has presented many challenges to patient care, Tiburcio Vasquez Health Center continues to make colorectal cancer screening a priority. By breaking down these barriers, patients are comforted that they do not have to come into the clinic to either pick up or drop off the test and risk unnecessary exposure to COVID-19. Great job adapting the process to still get life-saving cancer screenings done. And here to tell you more about their work is Tiburcio Vasquez Health Center.
Hello, my name is Andrea Schwab Galindo, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Tiburcio Vasquez Health Center. On behalf of everyone at TVHC, thank you. It is truly an honor to be recognized at this year's American Cancer Society East Bay Gala. A special thank you to the ACS Cancer Control Team for recognizing our work in increasing access to care and nominating us as a distinguished community health partner for our efforts in fighting and preventing colorectal cancer. Due to health disparities and inequities, the community members we serve are more likely to be diagnosed with late-stage cancer, which could have been prevented or treated if diagnosed earlier. Colorectal cancer affects men and women at equal rates, and it's the second leading cause of cancer death when combined. Because of the support we receive from ACS and others, we're able to advance health equity for our colorectal cancer screening kit projects. We're able to provide fit kits to over 2,100 patients for this preventable and curable disease. We know that the best test is the test that gets done. So we found that using fit kits work best for our patient population, allowing our patients to take the test home and return it at their convenience. Tiburcio Vasquez Health Center is taking action to reduce health disparities and advancing health equity in colorectal cancer screening by implementing changes in our healthcare practices and systems to better promote screening and coordinate efforts to address barriers. Thank you for this honor.
These outcomes are truly remarkable, and it is only through partnerships like these that we are able to make strides towards health equity for all. As I mentioned earlier, our work with FQHCs is a critical part of our strategy to move towards a future where everyone has the opportunity to be as healthy as possible, including preventing, detecting, treating, and surviving cancer. At the American Cancer Society, we are content experts in the field of cancer control, and we provide the latest evidence and tailored guidance to health systems to help them achieve and amplify their cancer prevention and early detection efforts. For example, our ACS-led HPV vaccination clinical interventions have led to an increase in HPV vaccination initiation rates by an average of 14 percentage points. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Immunization Quality Improvement Program considers an increase of 2 percentage points a success. Because of donors like you, we're able to offer support and guidance to our valued health system partners and are ultimately making a larger impact in the fight against cancer. With health disparities widening due to COVID-19, this work is more important than ever. Thank you for your continued support.
You heard Paula referring to change grants. These are a series of hyper-local community grants that fund health equity programs and access and navigation to screening resources within underserved communities. Another program is called Hope Lodge. I referenced it earlier in our first round of auctioning. These facilities are spread around the country and are a place where cancer patients can stay for free so that they can get to and from treatment that may be far away from home. These two life-saving programs are just two of the many services that the American Cancer Society provides. With your support, they will keep providing these services that so many people depend on and benefit from. Convinced? You should be. The website is eastbaygala.org. Your donation there will make a difference. Once you've done that, be sure to post a video of yourself to your social media pages or a picture using the hashtag EastBayGala. Tag the @ACS_California and @ACS_EastBayGala accounts on Instagram, and then challenge your friends to do the same. And for those who have already sent in your photos, we're going to take a look. Also, please give a virtual round of applause for the musical performance from UC Berkeley's a cappella group, Decadence.
Tangled in one bunk because we can't sleep. If I don't feel your arms wrapped around me, been to
Thank you again for sharing your pictures throughout the evening, and thank you again to Decadence, and that song has an appropriate message for this evening. Nothing is impossible with you. At this point, we would like to introduce you to Jeanette Harper, who many know simply as Z. As a breast cancer care navigator of the Alameda Health System, she sees firsthand the inequitable experiences that her patients face. She leads with empathy, knowledge, experience, and compassion to effectively guide patients through the healthcare system. More than that, in her many community leadership roles, such as being a thought leader of the Black Healthcare Coalition, Z advocates for equitable, compassionate, and culturally sensitive care regardless of social and financial barriers. According to Z, she's not just helping a patient, she's helping a mother, a sister, a daughter. She says, "I'm not here to navigate cancer, I'm here to navigate life." Jeanette's approach creates a strong foundation of trust between her patients, and the health systems, which allows the cancer journey to stand stronger and yield better outcomes. We present the 2020 Health Equity Hero Award to Jeanette Harper.
Good evening. My name is Jeanette Harper, and I'm a breast cancer navigator for Alameda Health System. Before I go any further, I first want to thank the American Cancer Society for bestowing on me the honor of being recognized as Health Equity Hero. In the 8 years I've been doing breast cancer navigation, I've always had a partner with American Cancer Society, a phenomenal partner. So to be honored by them, knowing the work and the commitment that they have to cancer patients is absolutely mind-blowing, and I'm very much humbled by such an honor, and I can't thank you enough. It's in my journey as a breast cancer navigator that I've come to realize what equity really means from the perspective and the experience of the patient. Before, I thought equity was all about need, but it's actually all about value. How much do we really value our patients? And do we value them equally? And I can honestly say that in my experience, the answer is always. Always. There's no difference, there's no diminishment, there's no devaluation. Because what we value, we respect. What we respect, we take care of, we treat. And what we love, we will go to any length to ensure that they get what it is that they need, because they are valued. Every patient I've treated, whether it is a mother, a daughter, a sister, a cousin, an in-law, a friend, all receive the same care because I value all of my patients the same. Every last patient matters. But I've also experienced what it's like when patients aren't valued. As a Black woman, one of the greatest challenges I have had is, as a marginalized woman, trying to move another marginalized woman through a system that diminishes, disrespects, and does not see us first and foremost for our value. And that's really hard, because we have patients that are diminished by a system that does not want to invest in their life while fighting a disease that's trying to take their life. So at a minimum, what we can contribute is the love and the value that everyone has as a person, as a human being. And I'm very fortunate and very blessed in that the American Cancer Society has been with me since day one in ensuring that we make sure people are valued first and foremost. We can identify the disease. We can help treat the disease. But we have to work just as hard in ensuring the value. And we do that not just through solely implementing programs. We do that through introspection and determining how much we value people and being brave enough to correct ourselves when we find that we don't value everyone equally. And we also do it by challenging those who are indifferent to a system that would devalue and disrespect and diminish others, irregardless of their race, of their status, whether they're rich or whether they're poor. And I'm just very blessed in that not only has American Cancer Society been an incredible partner, but I work with incredible people. And our system of care is predicated on the shared values. Dr. Amal Corey, Dr. Kevin Knopf, Karina Powell, the most incredible physician's assistant anyone could wish for. Dr. Sarah Fleisig, Dr. Stephen Yee, Dr. Richard Godfrey, Ellen Reinhardt, Linda Thompson Carter, Janet Clayton, all of you. I could have not done this job without the shared values that allows us to treat everyone with love and respect, and my family and God first and foremost above it all. And I just want to say that equity is not that difficult. Equity is characteristics. Thank you.
Thank you again to Z for her exemplary work in the fight against cancer and the advancement of health equity. Again, it's such an inspiration. Okay, back to the auctioning and donating. We hope you all have had a chance to register online and are ready to help us get to our goal. If you haven't already, visit our auction site, scanning the QR code or eastbaygala.org in a different window or a different device. And when you're there, click the Join the Auction button up there. Tap that blue button that says Raise your paddle, donate now. Moving into our next round of shout outs and recognitions at the $500 level. You can raise those digital paddles now. Our team is standing by to enter your name into the list too. I'm sure you'd like to be able to brag to your core team that you were recognized for doing something so great and so generous tonight. So we'll start where we left off at the $500 level. Here, your gift supports an online personal health manager. It can be hard to keep track of all the information that you get about your diagnosis and treatment. Health inequity creates additional barriers to managing your own care, but keeping this information organized can help patients feel less stressed, more prepared to talk with their doctors. The American Cancer Society Personal Health Manager can help to keep you on track. Thank you so much to the folks who have donated at this level. And again, as I read more names as we go through these levels, I apologize if I mess up anyone's name. That is my fault, not anyone else's. So thank you at the $500 level to Carolyn Williams Goldman, John Cariaso Sugai, Sacramento Food Co-op, Patrick Campbell, and Jennifer and Jerry Tiangsing, pardon me. See, told you. At the next level, $250. Here we go. Hope to see a lot of names at this level as well. So get the clicking fingers ready. If you haven't already, visit the auction site or eastbaygala.org in that different window. And when you're there, click the auction button. The blue button says Raise Your Paddle. Your $250 donation tonight will help to ensure that patients and their families continue to receive vital information via our 1-800 number, via cancer.org, and via mailed materials. As you heard from Yvonne earlier this evening, if we help people understand, they will make different decisions. Access to quality information impacts decision-making and ultimately their outcomes. So raise your glasses at home or your red Solo cups or whatever you have for these generous donors at the $250 level, Victoria Woodhead and Janet Clayton. Okay, so now we're at the point where I hope my teleprompter, my Google Doc, really lights up as people are making changes. We are at the $100 level. I've told you about 10 times tonight already how to get to the auction site. I'm going to tell you again, if you made this into a drinking game, you're unconscious. So go to the QR code and scan that with your phone, or press the blue button on the site that says Raise Your Paddle, Donate Now, so I can start calling out your names. With your gift of $100 tonight, you will help us fund health disparities research, taking a look at issues like racial disparities in social networks right here in the East Bay, as well as cancer disparities by sexual orientation, disparities in the delivery and quality of breast cancer care, intergenerational refugee and immigrant cancer screening, and the economic consequences of cancer survivorship. These are just a few of the 59 active disparities research grants that are currently being funded by ACS. The American Cancer Society, even during the pandemic, continues to pay out all cancer research awards to date. Many funders and cancer organizations have simply stopped writing checks. The ACS is fulfilling its commitments because they don't want to leave discoveries and answers to cancer on the table. That means $6.5 million for cancer research leaves the ACS every single month. So we have to continue to fund the future of cancer research for generations to come. If you haven't raised that digital paddle and donated yet, now is your chance. And for an added bonus, Chevron will match your donation up to $10,000 so you can double your impact today. Big thanks at this $100 level going out right now to Heather Oshiro, Casey Keating, Gina Alessio, Delinda De Leon. Thank you very much for your donations. And again, if we have more that come in, the team will be updating the list and I'll be able to give you some recognition here on the live stream. And remember, you can still make donations now throughout the event at eastbaygala.org. Click on donate. And keep in mind that you don't have to necessarily conform to one of these levels. So you can customize your donation amount so you can give $25, $50 and support this great cause. Special thanks to some additional donors who have been raising their paddles digitally throughout tonight. Cynthia Grant, Ellen Reinhart, Alyssa Karuna, Deborah Ann Walters, and Michaela Hayes. The online auction is open until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow evening, Sunday, October 18th. So that online auction does not close tonight. It closes tomorrow night, right before midnight. So don't miss out. You still have all day tomorrow to monitor whoever is trying to outbid you for whatever it is you want. And yes, I will be one of those people bidding against you as well for whatever I want. We sincerely thank you for your generous support. Again, that online auction closes at 11:59 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday, October 18th. Tonight, we saw how powerful it is when communities come together. We saw how progress is made when partners mobilize and support each other to advance health equity. No single person can do this alone. As you heard from so many people tonight, it's only through addressing these injustices head on that we can get closer to a world where everyone has a fair and just opportunity to prevent, find, treat, and survive cancer. Please give now so that the American Cancer Society can continue the fight for health equity for all. Thank you again to all of our sponsors, supporters, and underwriters. Huge thanks to our presenting sponsor, Chevron, especially for their match of any donations up to $10,000. And a special thank you to the production team from Baycat Studio. Thank you to Theo, Neil, and Zainab for keeping me on track and telling me when to talk into the camera and when to shut up, and just generally for making this virtual program possible. Thank you to all of our volunteers. Especially thank you to the volunteers for dedicating their passion, talents, and time to this great cause. A special thank you to this year's honorees, Jeanette Harper, Bay Area Community Health, and Tiburcio Vasquez Health Center for joining our program, sharing with us a few words, and most importantly, the meaningful work you are doing to continue increasing access to care while decreasing disparities in healthcare. And I would like to thank everyone at the American Cancer Society for allowing me to be part of the East Bay Gala this evening. Thank you to everybody who has been chiming in the YouTube chat throughout the evening as well, and interacting with us and making this as much of an event as it can be in the COVID virtual world. Thank you all for helping us attack cancer from every angle and for not letting the pandemic stall our efforts. Please enjoy our closing entertainment by the California Golden Overtones singing Carry On. Until then, keep up your efforts, get out there, vote as early as you can, and we will see you next year, hopefully in person.
Though I woke up to the sound of silence, the cars were cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a bottle of wine, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July. You swore and said we are not shining stars. This I know. I've never been through hell like that. I've closed enough windows to know you can never look back. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground, and carry on. Carry on, carry on. So I met up with some friends the edge of the night at a bar off 75. they talked and talked about how our parents will die, all our neighbors and wives. But I'd like to think I can cheat it all to make up for the times I've been cheated on. And it's nice to know that when I was left for dead, I was found and nowhere on lonely streets. I am not the ghost you are to me if you're lost and alone.